How y'all doing? I'm just gonna re-release this word once again, just to be in obedience, to help people understand that God is always speaking. He's still speaking. You just have to keep your ear tuned to what he's saying. When the Lord first spoke to me about this heat wave back in November, he was saying that it's going to be a heat wave that nobody would be able to handle. And the things that it was going to bring, it was going to attack the crops. It was going to just be a heat wave like never before. He had me to remind people back in April and May. And also back in April and May, he started showing me how the crops were going to be attacked by a plague of insects. But there's going to be at least 4 plagues of these insects, different types of plagues of insects that were coming. In this next video that you'll see grasshoppers that are destroying the crops. You'll see a plague of ticks that are coming that attack us. So y'all just continue to pray for coverage and protection. Y'all continue to keep your heads lifted, because God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Y'all have a good one. He began to show me some plagues that were coming. But the main thing that he was breaking down to me was there was a plague of like lice, gnats, termites, flies. They came and attacked. They devoured up everything. When you read Exodus chapter 8, verses 16 through 24, you see how these plagues came, but because God's people prayed, or God's chosen people, they were covered from these plagues.
With crickets, as in biblical plague proportions, miles wide, just marched across the property.
A frustrated rancher describes an unnerving problem afflicting farmers and ranchers in many parts of the West. There's been an explosion of grasshoppers and another type of insect called Mormon crickets. The Mormon crickets are actually katydids that can grow larger than 2 inches and have insatiable appetites for crops. They get their name from when they devastated fields of Mormon settlers back in the 1800s. Outbreaks of the insects have worsened amid drought and warming temperatures in the West. But it's not just farmers and ranchers feeling the impact.
I mean, people would pull off the freeway and come in to eat at the restaurants or the store or things like that, and they just see the ground covered with these crickets, and they just drive on by. So the economic consequences of that were pretty severe for our community.
Krebs says the highways sometimes become slick from so many crickets that driving is dangerous. Now states are grappling with what to do about it. The state of Oregon has allocated millions of dollars to fight the insects, but some environmental groups are leery of spraying pesticides across such large swaths of land. About 14% of the world's population has likely been infected with Lyme disease, according to new research. The analysis from the Institute for Tropical Medicine compiled data from 89 previous studies. The results indicated that up to 21% of people in Central Europe had antibodies for the bacteria that cause Lyme disease. The number was about 9% in the U.S. Confirmed cases of the disease have risen in recent years, and scientists say part of that may be because climate change is expanding the range of ticks. Lyme disease is spread by the black-legged tick, also known as the deer tick. Symptoms include a rash around the tick bite, fever, chills, headache, and fatigue.